AITA for calling my sister cruel for her tattoo idea? When it comes to my parents, I don't doubt that she sometimes saw different versions of them. So for full disclosure, I just turned 26, whereas my sis is about to turn 29, so we're more like 3 years apart than 2 years. My parents both drank a lot, and my mom abused pills for a while. She got clean from pills when my sis was 14, but they both kept drinking until getting sober when she was 17. I guess on my end I just feel very proud of my parents for both beating addiction, whereas my sister has never let go of the anger. And it just hurts for everyone involved because my parents want a better relationship and she is very resistant to them. AITA, it's not like I never saw my parents in a rough state either, so I guess my confusion lies in her having this reaction to the same thing when I was able to strengthen the relationship and be proud of their recovery. My sis has always had a strained relationship with our parents, especially my mom. I am clearly not privy to the reasons because things are fine with me and my parents. When N went to college, she met her creative writing professor as a freshman and they got close immediately. They would do a lot together and worked closely on a few different writing projects. And never specifically said this, but it was obvious to anyone who saw them interact that they had a substitute mother-daughter type relationship. Which hurt my mom a lot to see. I always thought she'd grow out of it or that the prof would move on, but 10 years later they were still very close. About a month ago the prof died unexpectedly and it devastated N. She was really depressed over the holidays, which of course was all in front of my mom and was a difficult reminder that N loved the prof as a mother way more than she ever loved my mom as a mother. She still talks to my parents and stuff, and they don't fight or anything, but N is very distant and doesn't tell them anything about her life beyond the bare minimum. My mom tried to comfort N, but N was doing her distant thing and didn't want comfort. Something unfortunate that happened to N is that when she got the call that she died, she was brewing tea, and in the shock of the news she spilled boiling water on her arm, which burned her kinda badly on her wrist. I think the burn was like on the borderline of 2nd and 3rd degree and definitely still looked pretty rough during the holidays. N said it was especially hard because in addition to the physical pain, every time she looks at it, she is reminded of the moment she found out the prof died. Which I totally get. I was on FaceTime with N, and she said she talked to her tattoo artist friend who said that the burn should be able to heal well enough to get a tattoo over it. And then excitedly told me about her idea, which is a type of flower that the prof gave her a bouquet of for her undergrad graduation. My mom was so embarrassed that day because she didn't get N flowers, but the prof did, and N was parading them around so happy, and it was a reminder of their connection. I guess N and the prof exchanged these flowers for every special occasion like birthdays, etc. So now she wants to get a decent-sized tattoo in a highly visible spot of something that will remind everyone of the prof. I told N that this seemed really cruel to my mom, who already feels cast aside and liked Chess in exile from N. And that's without the constant permanent reminder. N kind of scoffed and said, "I can't believe you think you have the right to tell me not to do this," called me an ass and hung up, and is still not talking to me, except for a very brief text saying congrats for a promotion I just got. My parents aren't commenting. My dad said I should have just kept quiet even though he agrees, and my mom made no comment but seemed grateful I stood up for her. I feel like I was just being protective of my mom. But AITA? What do you think about it? Write your comments.